Hey everybody, it's George Whittam reporting for Whittam's World. Well, I got another cool product to try out this week thanks to our friends over at B&H who sent along a Shure MVi. I saw this cool little audio interface way back at the NAMM show this spring, or this past winter actually, and I thought this was a really cool device because of its size, its price point, and some really unique functions. So I'm going to show this to you. Let's get right into it. The Shure MVi digital audio interface, it's for Mac, PC, iPhone, iPod, iPad, and Android. This thing works on a lot of different devices. So today I'm having it hooked to my Mac because that's what I record my show on, but you have the ability to connect it directly to an iPhone or an iPad right out of the box because they're nice enough to give you a lightning cable, which is, used to be an expensive add-on. So they're giving you a lightning cable right out of the box. If you're going to plug it into an Android, you'll need an Android that has a USB host port, or you'll need what they call a USB to go or USB on the go adapter that goes from micro USB to a USB female port that you can then plug in to your Shure MVi. So the cord I'm using right now goes from the rear of the MVi using the built-in USB port, and I have a headphone jack, which my earbuds are plugged into, something I would typically throw in my bag when I'm traveling, and my XLR microphone cable. This is a combo jack, so you can also plug a 1/4 inch into this if you need to for an instrument. It's nice and heavy and sturdy. It feels like it's not going to break, and it's heavy enough with a rubber base so that when you want to press the buttons on the front panel, it won't move around. So let's talk about those buttons on the front panel. It's got a lot of features on this unit for the price point. It's pretty amazing. So one unique feature is it's got a mute button. So if you're using it to make Skype calls or whatever, and you want a very easy way to quickly cut the mic because you're coughing, Source Connect, this is huge. If you're on a Source Connect session, you want to cut the mic for a cough or whatever, and there it goes. Away goes the sound when you tap the mute. So then when you see green LEDs lit up above this ribbon controller, this is the gain control. To raise the gain, sweep it to the right. To lower the gain, sweep it to the left. It takes a little getting used to it, but because you think that all the way from left to right would be full volume, but it takes a few sweeps, but that gives you a lot of precision over the volume control. So that's pretty cool. So as long as you see green, you're controlling the gain. Now, if you want to control your headphone volume, because it has zero latency monitoring, so I can hear myself while I'm actually recording, I tap the headphone button, and now the slider is controlling headphone volume, turning my headphones down and up. Now, if I was going to have any little sticking point about the unit right out of the gate, is that it does not have a very powerful headphone amp. As you can see, I have my headphone amp wide open, and I'm using it with earbuds, which I would not normally turn up nearly this loud. So it doesn't have a very powerful headphone amp. That's its only real negative so far that I've figured out. But let's look at the pluses. You get the two different cables with it, USB and Lightning. You get phantom power, so you can plug it into any studio condenser mic. 24-bit audio capability. Maxes it out at 48 kilohertz sample rate, which isn't the greatest these days, but for voiceover in the world that I'm in, it's perfectly fine. And, this interesting function of DSP presets. Well, it's kind of hard to describe what they do, so let's just try them. So right now I'm in preset 0 or 1, if you want to call it that, which is flat. 0 processing. It's just as is. When I press mode now, it's going to go through 4 different other preset modes. There's a spoken voice mode. Now I'm in the spoken voice mode. Definitely it seems to add gain. Seems to have some sort of a downward expansion noise reduction function. Yeah. Seems to have some sort of a downward expander on that, and it's definitely louder. Let's try the next one, which is music singing. So this is the singing voice mode. Sounds like the speech one, but without that downward expander feature or noise reduction feature. Then we'll go to instrument mode. So this is what they call instrument mode. Different EQ curve. Can't tell what else is different about it. Just a different EQ curve, maybe a little bit less gain. And then there's this mode, which I guess is just for recording general music. And, well, you can judge for yourself. And then we'll go back to our flat mode. So those are the DSP modes. Are they useful? I don't know. It really comes down to, does it sound better with it, or does it sound better without it? You're going to have to figure that out on your own with some experimentation. I really prefer to use the software in my computer to get the sound that I'm looking for. But for someone that doesn't know how to do those settings themselves, or hasn't gotten access to presets programmed for them by an engineer like myself, some of these settings could be really helpful, especially for getting clearer audio when they're doing a Skype call or something like that. So really clever combination of features built in, and it has no batteries. This is totally bus powered. That's probably why the headphone amp is kind of starved for power, because it's needing to get all of the power it needs to power all of the electronics, the preamp, the phantom power, the AD converter, the DSP, and the headphone amp. All of that has to come in off this USB cable. And when that's plugged into an iOS device, the current and voltage coming off of an iPad is dramatically limited. So the fact that this can do all those things and be powered right off of an iPhone is pretty remarkable, actually. It took some real technical wizardry to do that. The other little area where they cut back on power to make it workable with an iPad is when you're using this unit with an iPad or an iPhone, any iOS device, your phantom power is not going to be running at the full 48 volt phantom power setting. It's going to be running at its 12 volt setting, which should be fine for most mics. But if you're concerned, check the phantom power rating for your mic and make sure that your microphone can run on low voltage phantom power below 12 volts. Otherwise, you might get some distortion in your audio from time to time, because starved phantom power means the mic can overdrive or clip relatively easily. But I think the thing sounds good. It really sounds easily as good as the very well loved Shure X2U, and this just gives you the extra bells and whistles the Shure X2U can't give you, as well as the DSP and the ability to plug into an iPad. Some of you may miss the blend monitor control that you get with the Shure X2U, I should say. It had a third dial that let you control the blend between playback and record. Some of you may miss that, but I think many of you will not, and you'll find this thing to be perfectly suited for your grab-and-go travel kit. That with like the mic I'm using here, the AT875R, for that together, you're talking about $300 total for these two things together. Throw that in your bag with your iPhone. You've got a portable studio for the road. So thanks a lot, B&H, for sending over the Shure MVi for me to check out today on Whittam's World. If you need something portable, give it a try. For $129, it's a killer deal. And if you want to know where to get it, I've got a link right down below in the show description where you can grab one of these for yourself. If you'd like to have your product reviewed on the show, a friend's product, a product that you like, or just a product you're curious about, send an email in to whittamsworld@edgestudio.com. And yes, I'm still answering your tech questions, so as I get them, please send them in. I will start answering more of your tech questions, because that's how this show got started. And if you've got any technical assistance needs, then you want to go over to vostudiotech.com, where all of our tech support world lives. And if you just want to give us a call and ask questions about all of our services at Edge Studio, 212-868-EDGE. Again, George Whittam from Whittam's World. I'll see you guys next time.